Greetings. I wanted to create and post a very brief tutorial on a hugely useful application for Twitter called TweetDeck. And what TweetDeck does is it allows us to organize our Twitter, basically our Twitter experience, right? So the first thing that you would need is a Twitter account. And that's as easy as going out to twitter.com, creating yourself a free account. And in a lot of the trainings we provide on Twitter, this is you've probably either already done this or are about to do this. And essentially you sign up for a Twitter account, you have your Twitter account, and usually in the introductory training we talk a lot about like hashtags and how to search on hashtags, and we demonstrate that by way of the website. So if I'm interested in educational technology, there's an EdTech hashtag out there. Remember, hashtags start with a # EdTech. And I do a search in here. Okay, so these are all the tweets that somebody has basically tagged with the hashtag of #EdTech. And that's all well and good, and so I can go through here and see, and I can get more results, older results as I click on that and go. But that's just like all the tweets out there in EdTech. If I needed something, if I wanted to check for something different, like for instance, there's educational chat that goes on weekly at EdChat and the hashtag EdChat. And if I search on that, okay, then I can get the results for that. But everything I want to search on and learn more about requires a new search, and and if I want to go back and look at something that I did back in EdTech, then I'd have to retype EdTech and go back to that listing. So using just the Twitter interface really isn't all that efficient compared to some of the other tools we could use. So TweetDeck is one of those tools that allows us to organize our Twitterverse in a more efficient way. So I'm going to go out to, I already have my Twitter account, right? So I've created my Twitter account. Now I'm going to go to TweetDeck. And in the process of installing TweetDeck and getting it set up, it's going to ask you for your Twitter account. So you're going to need a Twitter account before you go reaching for TweetDeck. What TweetDeck does is it basically organizes the flow of information and aggregates it from Twitter and into this app that just basically keeps you organized. And it does a lot more than that, but this is sort of an introductory video, and we're just going to stick to the basics. So I'm going to install TweetDeck, and notice I can run TweetDeck on a Mac, a PC, a Linux operating system. And if you don't know what that is, that's okay. But Mac and PC, basically anything you have in your house, computer-wise, would probably work well with TweetDeck. You can also use your iPhone, your iTouch, your iPad, and Android smartphones. So any of your Android smartphones. So it covers its bases with a lot of different platforms. And using TweetDeck on a device, you can tweet from TweetDeck. You can also get tweets into TweetDeck from Twitter, from your Twitter account. So it's a hugely powerful tool. I've got it downloaded on my Mac, and so what I'm going to do is I just took you to tweetdeck.com to show you that you would click download now and download it for whatever operating system that you're running on. Usually it auto detects that for you. So I've installed TweetDeck on my particular Mac, and when I launch TweetDeck, what we'll see is basically you get a welcome splash screen, and then something comes up, usually welcome to TweetDeck, and they'll offer you some instructions and tutorials and things like that. You can close that window. You can choose to not have that show up every time by unchecking that box. But I'm going to close the window. And again, you can use TweetDeck for a lot of different things. You can actually link it to other social networking sites like Facebook. You can link it to LinkedIn. You can link it to various social networking accounts. But we're just talking about Twitter in this case. And basically, what I could do is let's go back to that hashtag search we were looking at back on the Twitter website. If I click the plus sign up here in the upper left-hand corner, I'm basically telling TweetDeck to add a column to my TweetDeck app. And when I do that, this is where I can do my search. So if I want that #EdTech search again, I'm going to click search. And this time what's going to happen is that's going to create a column dedicated to all the EdTech hits that have that hashtag organized into a column for me. And I can get that column to sit right alongside another column. Like let's say, for instance, I want to add another search column. So I did EdTech. Now I want to do just education in general. And there's a hashtag for education. I'm going to click search. And again, that adds another column. Notice in the upper right-hand corner when somebody tweets, Anybody who tweets something that is part of one of my search columns, my columns I have set up here, I'll get notifications in the upper right-hand part of my screen. You can turn those notifications off too, but you'll also get notifications on your smart devices too, your iPhones, your Android phones, and things like that. So it's usually useful. Usually I just start TweetDeck, and you organize your columns, and as you find more things, look, somebody else just tweeted something about education, and I could choose to follow the link from right here and go to that link and check out what they're talking about, or just read it later. I can close the notification altogether. But I can basically have a whole series of columns. You can do groups and lists, and again, folks, you can do a lot of different things with this. I'm just covering the basics of like hashtag searches. So if there's another hashtag that I want to check out, maybe e-learning or something like that. And again, part of discovering what hashtags are being used out there is to start with one that has a lot of people using it. Like EdTech has, for educational technology, has a lot of folks using EdTech. But I can notice, like in some people's tweets, in this particular one, this one also contains a hashtag for EdReform. So if I'm interested in the topic of educational reform, I could maybe choose to add that as a search and follow that as well. There's other hashtags, and again, hashtags are just developed by people who agree that, hey, when I tweet something on this topic, I'm going to include this hashtag, and it's just done that way. So if you have a hashtag in particular that you want to follow, that's where you would add a column and you would do your search for that particular hashtag. Maybe you're part of a study group or a group of people who have already determined what your hashtag is going to be, and this is where you would put in a hashtag in order to bring in a column. So anybody who tweets with that hashtag, you get to see it in near real time inside your TweetDeck app. So that's just a real basic overview of TweetDeck and how it works alongside of Twitter to help you organize your Twitter experience. Thank you.